A new book is out from an award-winning author who helps young readers navigate personal and emotional challenges through stories of imagination and empathy. The book is titled The Hat Diaries: Escape from the Adventure. It's the third book in the Hat Diaries series, and the author is Nadine Haruni, and she joins us now. Welcome to Arizona Horizon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations on the books. I always tell it must be so neat to hold a book that you've written.
It is probably one of the coolest feelings in the world, I have to say. It's a dream come true.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the third in the Hat Diaries series or series of books. What are the Hat Diaries?
Hat Diaries, there are 3 books. Each one is a little bit different, but it follows along Ryan Rigbee, a young boy living with his mom. In the first book, we find out that he is able to put on these magical hats at night that he puts on, and he wakes up and he has these adventures where he transforms into the role of the hat wearer. And then we take things up a notch in book 2, where there's a portal, a magical portal. He can put on a hat and time travel and step into different dates in history with these hats. And then the third one, Escape from the Adventure, the new release, is the final conclusion, ending in a big cliffhanger.
Yeah, so it's like historical fantasy fiction in a lot of ways?
Exactly, yes.
And for what age group?
It's really age 8 through adults, same genre as the Harry Potter series.
Yes.
So anybody who really kind of likes believing in the unbelievable or wants some kind of a book that's going to take them away to another place, this book is for you.
Escapism is the key here.
Exactly.
Huh? And this last one deals like with World War II and is in Germany and these sorts of things.
That's the setting for the beginning of the book and most of the book. And the chapters alternate between this setting in Germany and the real life unfolding, where certain people are trying to rescue Ryan from this situation he's in. So it's real life versus fantasy life, and a lot of the real life part takes place in this sort of haunted house, if you will.
Wow. How do you come up with the ideas with all this?
It's really, the idea started with the premise of how cool it would be to be able to sort of be someone else, even if just for a day, because I think a lot of us look at other people and you think, it's better in that other person's shoes. So that was kind of the premise, and being able to sort of go somewhere else in your mind, and that's what this book is really premised on, believing in yourself.
Yeah, believing in yourself, and also being able to overcome things like family issues, bullying, this sort of thing. How much are those sorts of things part of your books?
They are. There's a woven thread in all of the books, which are all things that people deal with from every age, from juveniles to adults. And the thread, especially in the first book, it's following Ryan Rigbee, who starts off as sort of introverted, a loner, a little bit afraid of his own shadow kind of thing. And he gains confidence through these adventures where he transforms and he can figure himself out, how to get out of certain situations. So you follow the character arc as he starts off introverted and a little bit lonely, and he becomes a newly confident version of himself. He's able to handle the school bullies, school crushes that he has, and things like that. So you see the character grow, and I think a lot of people can see themselves in the characters.
Now, is the character growing throughout the series? I mean, eventually, the Hat Diaries is going to start being like a Fedora Diary, or it's going to be an older guy.
Exactly, it is. He is growing. The second book takes place a year later. The third book is in the same time as the second book, but you do see the character continually grow.
And real life challenges like divorce, blended families, death of a pet, these kinds of, that's all included here, huh?
That's included there, and also in my other children's series, which is called Frida the Frog.
Yes.
That one I really focus on that stuff, but the Hat Diaries I do focus on. There's losing a parent, there's love, there's friendships and relationships, so a lot of different topics that can appeal to everybody.
So that the Hat Diaries, again, we've got that there, but you mentioned Frida the Frog is for maybe younger age group, Frida the Frog?
Frida the Frog is for age, I'd say pre-K through age 10, and it teaches kids about different types of family situations.
Interesting. All right. How do you write for kids, especially with Frida the Frog, but I mean in certain aspects of the Hat, how do you write for a younger audience without talking down to them?
That's a good question. How do you write? Basically, you want to make things understandable at a very basic level. If you're writing a book that's in this technically middle grade fantasy adventure genre, you want to keep it young enough. You don't use any foul language. You want to keep it understandable, things that children can relate to. But then if you're also trying to appeal to a larger network, such as even adults, you can't make it too simplified. So it is a delicate balance and juggle to hit the right note.
Do you ever find yourself stopping yourself saying, wait a minute, I'm kind of crossing the line here?
I do. And I have readers. I have my editor and I have official editor, 2 editors, and I also have unofficial editors, people in the genre that I'm writing for,
Yes.
and they help me kind of keep it real because I'm trying to be in the mind of a 13-year-old boy when I'm writing, and clearly I'm not a 13-year-old boy. So the teenage younger readers help me keep it at the right level.
And when things like bullying and death of a parent and death of a pet and these sorts of things, how do you send a message without being too obvious or without being preachy?
That's also a delicate juggling act and a balance, but you want to speak the way children would speak or adults would speak in a very matter-of-fact way and kind of make these topics not taboo and scary and make children and adults feel comfortable to talk about these things because let's face it, even if people don't like talking about them, they are real life. So life's not all a fairy tale. So
Right.
you need to be able to approach it in a way that's very matter-of-fact and put it out there and try to encourage children and families to be comfortable talking about these things.
And there seems to be a lot of action in the Hat Diaries, especially here.
There's a lot of action.
Yeah. Are you getting some questions, some interest in film, TV, streaming, whatever's out there these days?
Yes, so Netflix, if you're listening. But that is the goal, ultimately, to become a screenplay or 3 screenplays or a miniseries. Everybody who's read it, especially the adults, all say, seriously, when's the movie coming? And that's really how I wrote the book, with that in mind.
Yeah. Hey, last question here. Especially with Frida the Frog books for the younger kids, it must be rewarding to know that somewhere, someplace, a parent is reading this story to their kid before bedtime. Isn't that must be a great feeling?
It is a great feeling. A lot of teachers, parents have written to me, school psychologists, that they use the Frida series as tools to begin these somewhat uncomfortable conversations, and it feels great to hear that.
Yeah, well, congratulations again,
Thank you.
Nadine Haruni. This is The Hat Diaries, Escape from the Adventures, #3, but #1 and 2 are out there, and Frida the Frog never goes away either. So
She never goes away.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, and
Thank you.
congratulations on your success.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.